I believe this is standing where you would be if you were on the outside of the trunk looking in.
Okay, at the back of the vehicle.
Yes.
Okay, and then State's Exhibit. State's Exhibit 50. What is this a photo of? That's already been admitted.
This would be from like the back seat looking out.
Okay. So this area would be where the trunk would close at the rear of the vehicle. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Now I see in these two photos, 49 again on the screen, 50 on the screen. There are white stickers that we see on the trunk liner. Do you see those?
Yes.
What do those represent?
Those are the areas that I sampled for DNA analysis.
Okay. And whenever you sample an item like a trunk liner, how is it that you get access to any particular area so you can analyze it for the presence of DNA?
So in this case, if at all possible, I take a cutting from that area. So I actually remove a piece of that material to test.
And how many different locations are there in the trunk of this trunk liner that you tested?
Let's see. Really was 9.
Okay. And did you screen each of these areas for the presence of human blood?
For blood, yes.
Okay, and how many different locations screened positive for human blood?
There was 4 areas on the trunk floor liner. There was 3 areas on what I called the second trunk side liner. 1 area on the top of the trunk liner. And 1 area on the trunk door liner.
Okay. Now, of all of those locations, we see some of them here in State's Exhibit 50, correct?
Yes.
And was there one particular area where you were able to develop enough of a profile in order to make a comparison?
Yes.
Were the rest of the stains that you observed in on the trunk liner too weak for comparison?
Yes.
This is State's Exhibit 51. And does this picture show the area where you were able to develop a profile suitable for comparison?
Yes.
And where is it located?
It's about in the middle of this picture.
Is it near where the tail light would be?
Yes.
I'm going to put my cursor just below an area. Is that the location?
Yes.
All right. Do you assign it a number at the laboratory?
Yes.
And what is that?
This one I called sample 59.3.
And again, that's the location that we see here on the photo, correct?
Yes.
Do you write it on how do you mark this area? What do you do?
These are stickers that are called tough tags, and that's what I wrote: the case number, the sample number, and then the date and the initials that I examined it on.
So when you have to go back and testify about something, you know exactly what you did and what area you tested.
Yes.
Just above this sticker, it appears that there's a hole in the trunk liner. Who did that?
I did.
Okay, is that the cutting that you took?
Yes.
Okay. And were you able to develop a profile from this particular area of the trunk that you were able to match to a known profile in this case?
Yes.
Okay, and can you describe that analysis, please?
So the profile that I developed indicated a mixture of 3 individuals. I was able to determine a partial profile at 20 out of the 21 locations that I tested of the major contributor, and that was consistent with the known DNA profile of Mollie Tibbetts.
Okay, is there a statistical probability that's associated with that?
Yes.
And what is that?
That would be less than 1 out of 2.1 non-million.
Okay, so another very large number, correct?
Yes.
And in very basic terms, what does that mean with regard to the cutting that you took that we see here in States Exhibit 51?
At the 20 locations, I was able to determine a major profile. It matched Mollie Tibbetts at those 20 locations.
So Mollie Tibbetts' blood is in the trunk of the Malibu. Is that a safe conclusion?
The screening tests at that area indicated the presence of blood, yes.
All right. And one more photo I'd like to take a look at is the States Exhibit 52. Does it show that location even closer?
Yes.
And here we can actually see the number 59.3, correct?
Yes.
And the area that you cut that you matched to Mollie Tibbetts?
Yes.